Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. It is Sunday morning, and if you watched episode number 2, you know what episode number 3 is, and if you didn't, I'll tell you in a minute. Let's welcome Laura Morby to the show. How you doing, Laura?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Oh, I love that last episode we did, and as we were closing out, it's like, we could do a whole new show on this. I'm like, congratulations. We're going to do a whole new show on the fact that, if you've been a new investor, even experienced investor, and got a little lazy, a little undisciplined over the last 2 or 3 years because the market's been up and to the right and the market bailed you out, it's time to clean that up. It's time to recognize it. And, we could be going into a market that plateaus, which is not bad, but if you act like you've acted the last 2 years, you could hurt yourself. So what do you think of that?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's start off right there. I think that's a perfect place to start. So if you are off on your ARVs, or you have one comp that supports your price.
Yeah.
And guess what? In the last, at least the year, if not more, you're going to be fine. You can be as ambitious or sloppy or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying that we don't make those mistakes, because sometimes you get excited and you see a deal. I did that this week. I'll tell you, like, I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh yeah, I got a comp, got one. Like, this is going to be a home run. So you can't be like that. So if you can't find 2 or 3 true comps like that an appraiser would use that can justify your ARV, the market won't bail you out anymore,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like for sure the market now, but like if the market plateaus or goes down, the market will not bail you out anymore.
Yeah, you and I have been doing this a long time, and what comes with time is painful memories. And when you get the ARV wrong, let's realize there's a lot of people not only buying and selling, wholesaling, but there's also a lot of people doing BRRRR projects. A lot of people that follow me on one rental at a time do BRRRR, and they don't even. It's, oh my God. It's not even a purchase appraisal. It's the refi appraisal, which is even more conservative.
I'm getting anxiety just the second you said BRRRR. I was like, oh, like the vein in my forehead popped out. I don't know if you saw that, but I was like, oh gosh, yes.
I do, yeah. There it is.
Painful. Oh, you're talking about a pain. Yes.
Yeah. So man, if you're doing BRRRR today, again, the market of the last year probably bailed you out. It is, I'll just say it right now. This is Zuber's words. It ain't going to bail you out for the next year to 18 months. It's going to hurt you. So be far more conservative.
I am like, oh man, my heart is like hurting for that. Yes, please, like whatever you take from that video, just listen to that last minute one more time, because please don't do that to yourself. Please.
Yeah, I mean, because we had, again, that's my problem with BRRRR, right? I've always had that problem. I was BRRRRing before it was a thing back in 2010 with private and hard money. But again, the market was right for that. I have people doing it today, 100% hard money. And I keep asking, what happens if you go back and you can't, you left 10% on the bone? How are you going to fix that? What do you mean? I want to get all my money back. I'm like, you're planning for that going in? I mean, people are creating financial destruction right now.
Truly. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And if now is a good time, even if the market picks back up after this brain dead time. That's what I call it. People go brain dead.
I like that.
You should probably listen and start implementing these things now and just get them into practice. That way, whenever a plateau or a slowdown hits, like, you're going to be fine. Because if you're currently doing this stuff, like, yeah, you are setting yourself up for like financial destruction. Yes.
Yeah, it happens, right? And so, again, if you're in the process and you're doing BRRRR projects, I would, again, it's very difficult, different markets, but you might want to adjust your ARV down 10% and see what happens.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yes.
And then you do
more and give yourself a little pad.
Yes.
Or more.
And again, I fully acknowledge the last year you didn't have to do that.
No.
You will have, I predict you'll have to do that the next year to 18 months because again, we front load all this appreciation and, the incomes and all that other stuff has to catch up. Yeah. So it's going to be noisy, but you do a lot of flips, and
that's something else I want to touch on.
Let's do it.
If you've been justifying purchasing something because you've been tweaking a construction budget, or you've been being like, you know what, that AC unit's probably fine.
It's got 3 more years on it.
Yeah. Or we'll just leave 10 floorings in our property. So it's this is a two-sided thing. So if you're tweaking your construction budget to make a deal work and you ended up going over a decent amount, you were fine. Like we had one, okay, I'll be really quick with this, but we had one where our construction manager went and walked the property with our foreman and didn't take pace, okay? No one got on the roof. No one looked at the AC. Like we're buying these as is, but like still like we're not getting a home inspection, but look at these big ticket items. So the roof was, you could see when you drove up to the property, you could see it. Property was pelted with hail in 2010, like pelted, and no one did anything about it. Oh my gosh, that was so expensive and that wrecked us. But guess what? We still made money. That was like something that was like, because the market was crazy.
Yeah.
So if you're being sloppy and just being like, oh, we're gonna be fine, and you're check your big ticket items always. Hot water heater, AC, you know, if the house is older, expect some plumbing, electrical issues, you know, things like that. Do that. And then also, if you're purposely ignoring something because you're like, we're gonna be fine, you might not be fine anymore.
Yeah.
So don't do that. And then, so that's something that I see people do all the time right now, is they're like, oh yeah, we could get this done for 20 grand. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, you can't. But guess what? They end up, if they spend 60, they're fine. You can't do that. You need to be way better at estimating your rental. And if you don't know, go with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks to say go with somebody, because if you tell a contractor, tell me how much this is, they'll give you some super high thing. But if you go there and you know what you're talking about, and you know it should be about 60 grand, then you can say, hey, can you get this done for 60? And if they're like, 65, great. But you're not going there and being like, tell me how much it's going to be.
110.
Yeah, at least 80, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to be really careful with that too, please.
Yeah. And I want to remind people a fact that you brought up in episode number 2, because again, if you're flipping today, the market bailed most of you out. You went from having 15 active buyers to 2. And that's not because 13 people bought. That's because 13 people decided to do something else in life.
Yep.
And just take that scale, right? What is that? That's a fall of 87%.
Mm-hmm.
If you take that, even if you divide it in half and it's 43% for the average agent, that's a lot less buyers. And what that means is a lot less buyers into a rising supply. It's the prettiest, the best looking properties are going to be the ones that get offers. And if you've got 10 different flooring patterns, it's not the same market. It's just not. And again, I saw this in the 2008 crash, is where flippers got hurt, is they didn't recognize that the market shifted, and they maintained bad habits. They didn't lower prices soon enough. Right.
Yes.
They didn't take a 5K loss, and instead they lost the property because it just kept coming down. I'm not calling for that, but just realize if a market shifts on you, take the quick way out so you can regroup, learn, and keep moving forward. Don't have an ego that forces you to, hold something for months and months and months. Right.
Yeah, take that small loss and move on, because even if
yeah.
the market rebounds and you could have made 10K, well, at least
you lived.
Danger of losing 30. Thank you for bringing that up too, because that's the other thing that I was gonna say and I totally forgot. But if you are, because there was nothing available and buyers were desperate, and you noticed that you could get away with a lot of crappy things left over in your remodel, and not doing certain things like leaving ugly cabinets, leaving ugly floors. Well, guess what? If the market, there's more inventory and you've got 15 houses that are all really similar to yours, price point,
Mhm.
size wise, but someone took the extra time and spent the extra money to do new cabinets, like yours is just gonna sit. So that's the thing that I was noticing a lot like 2 months ago, where investors I was working with were like, we don't have to do that because it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
They'll buy it anyways, so we don't care. And it was true because people were buying things as is and it was selling even if it was ugly.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's not April anymore though, folks. It's not April.
Yeah, totally. So then, I mean, this segues, in my opinion, into the next thing, that if you're direct to seller, you probably could get away with not being that great of a negotiator and giving sellers way more than you should have, because
Oh,
guess
yeah.
either to flip it or wholesale it. And that, in my opinion, that's why there's so many bad wholesale deals on the market right now, because these direct to seller people are like, well, I don't, if that's really what they want, then I don't even need to have a negotiation. I don't need to even work her.
They just take the first number. Yeah.
Mrs. Seller, exactly that, because some dummy flipper is going to buy it. I don't care if they lose 30K. Sorry, you know, if the market changes, that bad habit's got to go. You got to be a better negotiator. You got to be better at identifying someone's pain. You got to be a better salesperson, and you got to buy your deals deeper. So if you're,
I hope they're hearing this, because I have not seen a good wholesale deal in my market in 9 months.
You're telling me.
Yeah,
So
seriously. Yeah, I mean,
it's because people are being lazy because the market's bailing them out. So you don't have to be, you know, like 2-3 years ago, like you would walk away from a lot of seller appointments because you're like, that's not a deal. Like I can't do that. Like I won't want it.
Yeah.
And I can't sell it.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So sorry, Mrs. Seller, if you think you want 15K off of retail, sorry.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's not going to work for me. I don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. It's not worth my time and my headache.
Yeah.
And now you have people going to seller appointments like, oh, I got another seller deal. Hey, just signed another seller, 6 seller deals. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why, because you're signing crap deals.
I hope people are hearing this, because I see it going on right now. There's a lot of wholesalers that are inking paper, but they're not going to sell them very soon.
Yep. But there are people who are still like buying dumb deals.
Yeah, I've seen this world before, as have you. These people that are going to be inking deals, right? It'll slowly. So what happens when a dumb flipper buys a dumb deal? In a good market, they get bailed out. In a bad market, they buy one, and then they buy 2, and then they suddenly have three projects. They're all sitting on hard money loans, and pretty soon they can't buy the 4th one because they're drowning.
Yep. It's coming. So just start. If you don't have any sales experience, if you don't know how to buy deals deeper, go to, as you say, YouTube University and figure it out. Like there's so many sales courses. There's people who have thriving wholesale businesses, direct to seller, that offer sales training. Relatively inexpensive.
Yeah. Well, let's give your husband a shout out. I've recommended him on my channel a couple of different times. Pace does a mastermind. Forgive me, I don't know what it's called, but I know he's doing lots of in-person and Zoom-based training. So where can people find more about that?
Oh my gosh, if you're not following Pace, you should. But Pace Morby Instagram is the best place to find him. But all he did yesterday was call sellers.
Nice.
And it was like probably the most valuable thing that anybody's done. And he'll call your seller, and he is the best. There is no one better. He was like top 3 in home investors for closers.
Nice. And
he's only gotten better since. So if you can get Pace in front of your seller, like good luck to your seller. Yeah. Yeah, folks, do your favor, follow Pace Morby on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere else? Oh my gosh, everywhere. Okay. YouTube's like a super good place. It's all free. Yeah, I like it. I like him on YouTube. It's all free. He does Zoom trainings all the time. He just did one all day yesterday. Like actually he did 6. He started at like 4 o'clock, and then he went until I think like 8:30 last night. So he and he brings in people too. So if he's not your cup of tea, he had Eric Sage on yesterday. He had Matt Beard on yesterday. So he'll bring other people that have different skill sets and specialties and give them to you for free to listen to too. So he's great.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
more than great. He's one in a million.
He's one in a million. And he is.
Yeah.
I've recommended him many, many times. So Laura, if somebody wants to buy or sell in Arizona, how do you want them to reach out to you?
My phone number is 480-717-2070, or my Instagram's Laura Morby.
Yeah. If you just want to smile, go follow her on Instagram. It's a good time.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. So Laura, thank you for your time this Sunday. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful time. And now I'm going to put you on blast. I need that book selfie.
Oh my gosh. Now
You and Corbin. Now it's recorded.
This is the third week of asking me for it. I promise I'll get it.
I know you will. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.